We're here with Stan Natchez at his studio. And Stan, what an honor. You have a beautiful studio and a lot of unique work here. How long have you been here?
I've been painting here for 1 year. I have a house. I've been living in Santa Fe for 12 years.
Tell us about the piece behind us.
This piece here is called Postcard from Santa Fe. And it's all on comic strips. And for me, I think that I've always used kind of pop art. And I think I've been influenced by not only Andy Warhol and Jasper Johns and Rauschenberg, but also T.C. Cannon, Fritz Scholder, and these painters in my own interpretation have really had impact because they were documenting the time that they lived. For myself as a historian and as a painter, I think it's the artist's responsibility to document the time that they live. And by using the comic strips, someday people are going to go, oh wow, those are old comic strips. People don't realize that we live in history. So it's important to me to paint what I feel. And by painting the American flag, it has a lot of meanings because when we have our grand entries and the powwows, they carry in that American flag. And outsiders don't understand why natives are carrying that American flag. But our relatives have gone to World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Gulf War. They've come home, and we've always respected our veterans because our veterans, those are a connection to our warrior society. For us, our warriors have not only been men, but they have been women as well. And now in Iraq, Lori Paestawa, who died in Iraq, her parents were here last night, and with her 2 kids. And you know, it was really touching to talk to this mother because we have always respected our warriors, male or female. And for me, this is my contribution, my tribute to them, because those are the people that those are our real role models. This painting is called the 21st Century Dandy, and I'm paying homage to T.C. Cannon. To me, I think that for us as natives, there's a few painters and sculptors here in Santa Fe, like Ellen Hauser, Fritz Scholder, T.C. Cannon, who really opened the door for the young painters and the young sculptors. By saying that, I strongly believe that they shared something with us that other artists before them never did, and that there's no rules. There's no rules in painting or in sculpting. It's all from the heart. For me, I'm painting on dollar bills to document the time that I lived. The dollar bill is the most powerful symbol of the 21st century. So for me to paint something Native American, just to do a portrait of somebody, is not enough. How could I take it a step further? By putting on the dollar bills, it's open for interpretation to the viewer as well. For somebody who's been very wealthy and has traveled maybe a trust fund, they find it humorous. Or someone who's worked very hard for their money, some people have been upset and saying, geez, isn't that against the law? Shouldn't you be in jail for painting? So there's a wide spectrum of interpretations of what I'm doing. So for me as a painter, I try to leave it open to the viewer. I think so often artists, they kill it by telling people this is what my painting means, when in fact the painting or a sculptor has many meanings, just like your own self, your own experiences.
Can you explain what's in this piece?
What's in this is, this is all beaded, literally beaded. And the interesting thing for me is that the dollar bill is an instrument of trade, and so was the beads. They traded Manhattan for some beads, and we don't want Manhattan back or anything, but it's still nice for me to bring something from the traditional world. To me, the beadwork is from the old world, and the painting is from the modern world. And when anybody can put something from 2 worlds together, the new and old, you have something very unique any time in history. Okay, to me this is Medicine Crow 9 times. And I'm painting not only on currency, I'm using the yellow pages, I'm using the New York Times, I'm using comic strips. All I'm trying to do is document the time I live. I'm a modern man. I have a bachelor's degree in education, I have a master's degree in curriculum, I taught history for 15 years, and I'm a modern man, but on the other hand, I'm a sun dancer. I've been a traditional dancer for 30 years, and for me, I think that we have to take best of both worlds. And if you ever forget about where you come from, you lose your identity, then to me, you finally die. Because without our identity, we don't know who we are anymore. We lose our culture, our respect for the things, the respect for the elders, and to be generous, to be giving. That's the real traditional ways, to be humble, not to be so much for yourself. How can you give back? So for me, by painting on comic strips and in the New York Times and the Yellow Pages, I try to share the humor of it, because for us, the thing that kept natives alive has been our humor. We've been able to laugh about everything that's happened in history, even the bad things. So with our humor, I think, is how we keep people in line as well. It's always been a traditional way. If someone was acting too Hollywood, then your own family would go, "Hey, Hollywood, how are you doing?" So for us, we've used humor to keep people in line, to keep that balance. So that's what I'm doing in my paintings. Sometimes people see the dollar bill and they think, oh, the killing of the buffalo, the raping of the land. And you know, maybe it has that too, but it's not all that for me. I'm painting about the humor, and I put the comic strips in there for that reason.
You do beautiful work. Thank you for talking to us.